The conflict in Sudan has many faces. The best known are the North Sudan or North-South conflict, that problem in Darfur, or the Arab-African conflict. Now, the reality is that Sudan is deeply complex with many isolated but often overlapping conflicts that blur common perceptions. The fragile comprehensive peace agreement, that's the CPA, which was reached in 2005, in one way or the other, affects almost every state in the north and south of Sudan. Beneath the numerous tribal differences that continue to be politicized and bitter oil-related conflicts exacerbated problems further. There are fears that the conflicts in Sudan have the potential to trigger a regional war, drawing in neighboring countries, of course, including Uganda. Now, tonight we dissect the latest conflict that seems to have been sparked by the takeover of the disputed oil border town of Heglig, which South Sudanese troops captured last week. You're watching On The Spot, a special edition on the Sudan crisis. Our guest tonight is Senator David Amour Majur, member of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, the SPLM National Liberation Council. Now, very good evening to you, all our viewers, and welcome, Senator. Thank you so much for saving some time to join us here on The Spot, and you're on The Spot.
Thank you.
Let's start off where we probably think this crisis has begun, but lots of voices actually say there's been simmering row between you and the North for a long time, that even just around the time of the referendum in January, this was ongoing. But let's look at what they're calling probably the stick that broke the camel's back. Last week, you moved in to Heglig, an area North actually says belongs to them and is in the North. Your comments on that?
First of all, I would like to give thanks and greet the viewers of this program once again. And what happened at the Heglig, we did not just, our forces did not just went to Heglig. What happened is that Heglig is inside South of Sudan territory.
Based on which map? Because I think there's also conflict on exactly when Heglig belongs to the North.
It is below Abyei.
Okay.
It is below Abyei. And in the CPA, you have the latitude lines of 1956 borders that was signed between us and the North, the 1956 boundaries. We formed a commission in 2005, immediately after the signature of the peace agreement. We formed a commission called Abyei Boundary Commission. We give all what it takes for us to demarcate peacefully. It was consisting from experts from worldwide, including regional people or representative, the chiefs, the local people in the villages who knows where belong to who. And from there, all the presentations were given to President al-Bashir, who was the chairman of the committee of Abyei Boundary Commission. And later on, they went and played it down. They did not want it to demarcate. Therefore, Heglig was behind Abyei. It is even behind, below the latitude. It is 40 miles. The boundaries of 1956 border that we signed in the peace agreement is 40 miles from Heglig. Actually, the original name is Panto. Heglig is a translation in Arabic, meaning a lalop tree. The village of Lailop. In Dinka it is Panto. That's the meaning. And as you know, since they came, their immigration into North Africa, because they were not created here. Even themselves, they know in the North that they came from Far East after the death of the Holy Prophet Muhammad in 700 BC.
The North seems to disagree with you. And actually, I'm going to ask the director, because we spoke to the Sudanese ambassador yesterday. And this is what he had to say about the territory and where actually Heglig belongs. Let's listen.
It is not an issue of bombarding or something like that. No. The issue is an invasion of Sudanese territory. So we took, can we guess and let them invade our side? So we retaliate. Our retaliation is a next step towards the action of aggression. And I will assure you that we will drive them out of our territory who can crook. And we will not play on our land.
Well, there you have the ambassador. Strong sentiments.
No, this is what they say is not what they do. The barriers.
Surely, the conflict is it really about Heglig, or is it about the fact that Heglig actually is an oil, has an oil resource just below it, and it's also an oil town?
Well, this is what the Khartoum has been doing. They scratch, they refuse the boundaries not to be demarcated, so that they scratch into where there are minerals. You get it now?
But in your argument, in the CPA,
yes.
and you clearly speak about the 96 borders and
yes.
the 96...
56.
Yeah, 56.
Yes.
Tell me, how come you fail to agree, especially around the Abyei area, where, of course, we know that the referendum was never carried out in January, as was expected
yes.
and was stipulated in the CPA.
Yes.
How come you as neighbors, the North and South, who have actually, to some point, agreed on the majority of your crises or issues that bedevil you, how come you fail to agree on that border area? Is it the oil, or is it just that the North and South cannot live next to each other and cannot work together?
No, it is the North who does not want to live on her own feet, because they still have the hangover of colonizing others. And this is why they have to say Abyei belong to them. They look for a problem because they invite a lot of problems, they fight less. So it is not on our side. You have heard about the oil shutdown. The oil, we give them the business. The pipe that they force us to rent for $36 per 1 barrel was built out of the oil
coming
money
from the south, yes.
From the south. And we did not claim the pipe. We only took the oil and leave the pipe to them and said, okay, now we will...
But the pipe is useless. You, of course, know the pipe is useless without the oil.
It is not useless, because what happened? The pipe cost us a lot. If we wanted all the money that the oil generated, most of this oil, part of it went to Chinese, who constructed on loan. They constructed the pipe on loan. But yet again, we give them. When we got our independence in July 2011 or 9th, they came a month later on. They said, we are broke. You get us some money, because you have gone with the oil money. We said, okay, you take 2.6 billion, run your government. You open up all the borders. Instead, they went, shut down all the borders. They went, they get the 2.6 billion, and 3 weeks later on, they went and confiscated our oil worth 2.8 billion. And we were asked by the regional leaders that, you just leave it to them again. In Addis Ababa, President Kiir in February 10th told them, okay, plus the 28 billion and 2.8 plus the 2.6 that we give you as a sign of solidarity, take it all. Furthermore, they went ahead constructing local and secret pipelines to steal the oil. So stealing is prohibited, even in religion of what they believe to. You cannot steal.
Surely your neighbor.
And then
yes.
they have what you call a Sharia law. If
yes.
the Sharia law is to be implemented on them, they are supposed to get cut off one hand, all of them, including Al-Bashir, because they steal.
What you're saying here, you're trying to say, is that the North has not been extremely honest with you. But critics of your government do seem to say that you've been extremely unfair to the North. That, of course, the North does understand that most of the oil is in the South. But you had an argument that probably should have been followed or even changed to suit both factors, whether the North wanted to gain more from the oil or the South should have gained more. This surely can be done through dialogue.
Can Uganda invade Kenya now because they have discovered oil?
No.
Then why should they invade us? Because the oil belongs to us.
Yes, but
Yes.
this can be discussed on a round table, and dialogue could actually resolve most of these crises.
We were in Addis Ababa,
Yes.
all right? And under the high panel of the AU, the process is led by the former South African president, Thabo Mbeki. And we were asked to sign a fact that has to cease the hostility and the tension between us. On March 26, we captured, they came and attacked us, and we captured Heglig. We were told by the international community and our leadership that you withdraw back to your position. We withdrew back to our position. And then we left them there, they came to attack us again. That's why our forces had to go in and attack them, dislodge them completely, and up to now they are after them.
All right, Senator, we're going to take a very short break. But when we come back, we want to discuss more on dialogue between the North and South, and of course, the capacity of the South to defend itself in this crisis. We're taking a very short break. You're watching On The Spot. Don't go away.